don't have to wait until you reach financial independence to start enjoying your life. You can do that much earlier and start living a life that you love and that's true to you. Welcome to Freedom Before FI. Using FIRE and life design techniques, we help you create freedom on your way to FI instead of waiting until you're retired to do the things that light you up. I'm your host Greg, a FIRE movement and life design enthusiast. If you're itching to get freedom now, then let's do this. Hi there, and welcome back to the show. I hope you're having a great day. Now, on the previous episode, I talked about how the pioneers took inspiration for slow fi from the slow living movement. And today, I wanted to pull on that slow living thread a bit more because I think it's really beneficial for us. When I think about slow living, the words that come to mind are peacefulness and freedom. The feeling of being free from the fast life and never-ending commitments, in air quotes. So today, I'll be giving you some ways you can bring more peace in your FI journey through some slow living ideas. But before that, let's just briefly touch on the history of the slow movement. It began in Italy in the 1980s, and we all know Italy is famous for its traditional cuisine. At the time, Rome was being faced with the opening of a McDonald's right at the heart of the city, and the locals weren't exactly too pleased about it. So a group of activists formed a movement called Slow Food. They created the movement to defend their regional food traditions and to oppose this fast food movement. So what began as the slow food movement sparked a broader movement about slow living. Since then, concepts like slow travel, slow working, slow gardening are all offshoots from the umbrella of slow living. To me, slow living in a nutshell is about being and less on the doing. It's putting the being back in human being, basically. In our culture, we're always busy. We're running from one rushed necessity to the next. We forget to actually slow down and just enjoy what we have. Now, don't get me wrong, I know we have important things to do and we still have to put food on the table. But I think there's a sweet spot, a way to balance all this doing and busyness with living mindfully and intentionally. So here are 4 ideas of how you can implement slow living in your life right now. Okay, so the first one is eliminate your commitments. Have a look at your calendar for the next 2 weeks. Think about the tasks or activities on there. Are there any that you just love to eliminate? Are there tasks that might seem urgent or important on the face of it, but when you really think about it, are actually not? So why not just remove them? I know it's easy said than done, but it's totally fine to say no to activities that don't align with your real priorities and your values. By doing less, you create space for the things that actually matter to you. Have a go. See if you can knock just one thing off your to-do list. Bonus points if you can knock off 2. Okay, so idea number 2 is to savor your basic activities. Throughout our day, we all have tasks that either keeps us alive, keeps us healthy, or keeps our environment in order. These are our basic tasks, things like eating a meal, cooking a meal, doing the dishes, laundry, ironing your work shirts, if you're working, having a shower, if you like to stay clean, brushing your teeth, cleaning the house, etc., etc. Those kind of things. Now, we usually want to get these tasks over and done as soon as possible so we can do more exciting stuff. But have you ever tried doing these things slowly and mindfully, where you're actually enjoying the process? Now, I can't say I could do that for all of those things, but we can look at some of these tasks as opportunities to slow down. So for example, instead of eating your dinner on the sofa, watching TV or scrolling on your phone, can you eat slowly at your dinner table without any gadgets and just savoring every bite and being grateful that we have food to eat? How about while washing the dishes in the evening, can you use that time to reflect on your day? How about enjoying your house clean by doing it to the beat of some music in the background? Anyway, those are just some rough ideas. Okay, so idea number 3 is to create slow rituals. When we have to do tasks, they're usually around work, side hustles, fitness, or house admin tasks, which is fine. But those are usually performance related, i.e., for more money, a better physique, a cleaner house. But do you have any tasks that help you slow down and just enjoy being alive, even for 5 minutes? I know that sounds a little bit dramatic, but think about all the small things you love doing when on holiday. Can you fit any of those in your work week? Things like having a slow walk in nature before doing your busy stuff, enjoying a nice warm cup of tea in the morning without any distractions, maybe on your porch or in your garden, the enjoyment of slowly cooking a homemade meal instead of eating out. Maybe it's reading a fiction book on your sofa, or a nighttime routine that includes meditation or journaling. So these types of tasks let us physically slow down and enjoy the moment. So if you want to, you can try and fit them in your weekly routine. Figure out what you really like and see how you can fit that in your own routine. Okay, so the last idea is to give yourself permission to rest without feeling guilty. Yes, that last bit is the key bit, without feeling guilty. So this is the one I really need to remind myself of. We can often feel guilty for taking breaks in this fast-paced world, but rest is essential for us. Plus, we'd be way more productive once we're well rested. So feel free to have those power naps or those lazy mornings whenever you need them, as long as it's not all the time. We do have to get some work done. Now I can imagine these ideas might seem really anti-hustle culture to some people, but I think peppering them in throughout your work week can really help balance the busyness and hecticness of our lives. We need space in our day to be thankful that we're alive, that we're here in the now, and not just be stuck in thinking about the next thing or the next event or the next thing to do. Thank you for spending your time with us today. If you need more help, you can check out our free guides and services on our website, freedombeforephi.com. If you have a burning question or just want to chat, don't hesitate to drop me an email at greg@freedombeforephi.com. If you found the show useful and want to be notified of future episodes, you can click follow on Spotify, Apple, or the app you're currently using right now. If you think the episode will help a friend or a colleague, feel free to share it with them. And lastly, if you learned just one good thing that will help you in your journey and you want to help us out, please do leave a 5-star rating on your podcast player app. That would help us out loads. Alright, so that's what I have for you today. If you liked any of those, see if you can fit any of them in your day today. Have a great week, and as always, practice gratitude, live life by your design, and do things that make you smile. You got this.